Am I the a-hole for telling my partner that his mother needs to learn to respect boundaries? Am I the a-hole for demanding that my mother display photos of my wife in her house? Am I the a-hole for wanting to move out, leaving my mom without help from my disabled brother? Am I the a-hole for telling my partner that his mother needs to learn to respect boundaries? Bit of a backstory here, my mother-in-law, 55 female, is generally a pleasant person, but can be extremely pushy. She is the biggest extrovert I've ever met, while I'm more introverted and soft-spoken, but we get along fairly well. Yesterday, it was my mom's birthday. It was also day 2 of one of the worst migraines I ever had. By 8 a.m. yesterday, I hadn't slept in 48 hours. Hadn't been able to keep anything down since the day before because I kept throwing up from the pain. Sorry if TMI. And generally, just wanted to lie in the dark in a fetal position until it passed. Reason why I took the day off sick even though I work from home. Knowing that my mom would pop by my place to say hi in the evening, mother-in-law texted me yesterday morning asking when she could come by to drop off her card present. I thanked her for the nice gesture, explained that I was really not feeling well, apologized, and suggested she could drop it off another day. Mother-in-law's response? That no problem. She'd pop by around lunchtime to give me time to recover. As in, that same day. Thinking I had not explained myself correctly, I am not very coherent during a migraine. I reiterated that I really was not feeling well and said very nicely that another day would really work better for me. She again completely ignored my request and said she'd be by before 2 p.m. Lo and behold, at 1:45, a knock sounds on the door. I wanted to ignore it, but then the doorbell started going off multiple times. So I dragged myself out of bed and down 2 flights of stairs, nauseous and in pain, in my jammies, with my hair in a ratty bun, to find mother-in-law on my doorstep. She proceeded to tot over how tired I looked, and seemed offended when I didn't invite her in or linger at the door to chat besides hi and thank you. The moment the door was shut, I lunged for the bathroom and barely made it to the downstairs toilet before I threw up again. When I was done, I texted my partner and told him that we need to talk about his mother and her inability to respect the word no, because I was tired of putting up with it after being a doormat for the last 5 years. Partner backed me up and spoke to her last night, but now mother-in-law is offended and thinks I don't like her. Am I the a-hole here? Am I the a-hole for demanding that my mother display photos of my wife in her house? I got married 2 years ago to the love of my life. I feel like my mom doesn't really like her, but the relationship is mostly okay. Honestly, I have a feeling since I got married, I've been left out of a lot of stuff, but the only one I can prove is my mom's birthday trip. To be clear, no one is straight up rude. But it is clear my mom and wife don't vibe and the rest of the family seems meh about her, which does make me sad. My mom has a wall with a lot of pictures on it. There are plenty of pictures of my sister's partner and there are pictures of extended family, but not a single one of my wife. My mom has pictures of her because some of these were taken at events where we are at, but she just chooses the ones without my wife. Honestly, this is not something I would have picked up on, but my wife did and it bothered her. My wife's family is huge on family, and while I don't think my mother-in-law loves me, she definitely includes me in everything. I brought it up to my mom and she said she hadn't noticed. I said I didn't really believe her and she shrugged and said my wife isn't her daughter. I pointed out that my sister's partner isn't her son, or my aunt's husband isn't her brother, but she has pictures of them. My mom said it was her house and the whole conversation is dumb. I said she can't exclude the love of my life and my mom said this is really pathetic thing to care about and we are being weird. My wife was upset and feels like it was a clear statement, so I told my mom she could either put up some pictures of my wife or we wouldn't be coming over. My mom said okay, don't come over. That was probably 4 to 5 months ago. I checked up about Christmas and asked if she had put up even one picture. My mom said no. She wasn't going to. We can't make her. And just don't come to Christmas and see if she cares. Well, we won't be going to Christmas, but my sister is super pissed at me and thinks I'm an entitled a-hole. And I heard my stepdad was making fun of us. I don't feel too bad because everything I've read online talks about you have to be a united front. Am I the a-hole for wanting to move out, leaving my mom without help from my disabled brother? My mom and I have always had a bit of a strained relationship. I love her, but we've never had a typical mother-daughter relationship. I'm currently 21, turning 22 in a couple of weeks. Edit, also worth mentioning that my dad left when my brother was diagnosed, so he isn't in the picture. My younger brother, who is 11, has Sanfilippo syndrome, which is a genetic condition which in short gradually creates deterioration in the brain and nervous system. The current life expectancy is 10 to 20 years old, but my brother has deteriorated more quickly than expected, so is full care and can't walk, talk, or do anything for himself. I go to college 4 days a week, which my mom pays for on the condition that I live at home and care for my brother when I'm not there. I love my brother to absolute death, but I'm not a nurse and looking after him is exhausting. I'm expected to catheterize him, constantly monitor his vitals, keep note of his medications, and more. It's having a serious impact on my grades, and I'm pretty much on the verge of failing most of my classes. I've had a steady boyfriend for 3 years, and he's asked me to move in with him. I said yes in excitement without thinking about asking my mom. When I told her, she went ballistic asking how I expect for her to care after my brother alone and that she'd stop paying for college as I was well aware of the conditions upon me going. If I stay at home, I'll probably fail anyway. I get where she's coming from, but I'm 21 and so drained all the time. I've fallen asleep at parties, in class, on public transport because of how tired I am. Am I the a-hole?